Hey, welcome to the TVP channel. Today we are taking a look at the final tournament game between 3 Musketeers versus Security Control. It's going to be a long ride, so do sit tight as we explore how the games turn out. Before I continue, the Security Control variant in these finals alone is unique in its own way with a huge focus on healing and utilizing the tempo play from BO3. We'll be talking about it more towards the end of the video like always. Now we do see the 3 Musketeers actually playing the Mechanorimon, which is actually a very common card to be seen against Rookie Rush variants because that blocker can stand alone against many rookies if they can't hit over 6k. It does actually call Gundramon here, not the best play, but it is a Digimon after all and it's a 3 Musketeer, so it does count towards the drop zone as the Wyvern Breath here will be actually killing it, so adding 1 to the drop zone. Pushing the Imon, and the Imon will be ready to use some damage, hitting the security, hitting the Quadramon first. The Imon will mill 3 first, which is a very decent mill as 2 of them are for the BO3. The second Imon will swing, hitting to a Dual Tamer there, so it doesn't die. And it does hardcore another Mechanorimon, and thanks to the Dual Tamer, he does gain 2 memory, starting off with 3 memory for the turn. And we do see the black option here being used by the Security Control to actually kill off all the 7 cores below, which is basically the entire board, including its own Quadramon. But thanks to the black Dual Tamer there, he's able to cast the option during that turn. Now how will the 3 Musketeers actually answer the board? He does hardcore his own BO3, which is basically 6 cores. He does take back the bullet there and cast the new bone from hand, allowing him to actually hardcore the Imon, and that will be all because he doesn't have a purple level 4 in the drop zone, unfortunately. Now the memory boost will be used here to push him to 8 memory here, and thus hardcore Geogreymon, which kills the Imon, allowing him to mill 3 further. And those are pretty decent mill if you ask me. And this allows him to actually cast the Happy Bullet Showering, allowing him to kill the BO3 for almost free. And now he does hardcore the Imon here, which is very strong, introduced in BTO6 alongside with BO3, allowing him to discard 1 and pick up a BO3 from the drop zone to hand, and thus go for the second BO3 already in this game, going for the Nailbone, picking up an Ogremon and an Imon from the drop zone, and the board is suddenly filled with Digimons. Now, how will the Security Control actually answer this? But of course, with the black option which kills off 3 bodies on the field, but the Imon will proc again, milling 3. Not the best mill, but it's after all Digimons in the deck. And the BO3 will be swinging at the security, hitting to a tactical retreat, allowing to heal 1 back. Basically no damage is done. It looks like it's going to be evolving to the Zod here to mill the top 3 of his deck. And while he'll be picking up the Imon, which allows him to actually proc the effect to pick up the BO3 from the drop zone to the hand. And the second one will be the Mechanorimon, given that Zod allows you to call black Digimons as well. And the second black Dual Tamer will be casted here, and going for the Geogreymon to actually kill off the Imon for 6 cost. Now that's a very heavy cost, and the Zod is actually left untouched, allowing him to actually bounce the BO3 back to hand. And we do hit into a Holy Wave here, allowing him to heal 1, basically no damage done once again, but the BO3 will be hardcore here. And this will be only 1 cost here, going for the new burn once again, hardcoring the Ogremon and the Imon most likely. Yes, he does go for the Imon here, but doesn't put the effect because Neoburn doesn't allow it. And he does actually hard play a Neoburn to actually cast a Valmon. And another Imon from the drop zone filling up the board. And we do see a BO3 from the Security Control player here, allowing you to actually cast the black option once again to clear off that board. A total of 5 Digimons, I believe, died in that process. Man, that's a very strong option in Security Control, and that's a very good mix. But we do see him hitting to a Wyvern Breath here, killing off the BO3, allowing him to actually hardcore another BO3, going for a new bone here once again, calling the Valmon, nope, the Ogremon instead, and the Imon because they are attackers. So how many black options we will see this game, as he does actually go for the Millenniummon to actually put back the BO3 to the bottom of the deck, and then the Dual Tamer does give him much more needed memory. The Salamon will be pushed out here, drawing through the Upamon skill, and does die in the process, allowing him to actually heal 1 to put him back to 4 security, as he does hardcore another BO3, and you know what's coming. The black option once again, killing off that 2 Digimons on the field, but we do see Zod and Millenniummon actually sticking on the board, which is very scary for the Security Control. Now, it does hit to a Zod defeat here, which might change things up for sure. The Millenniummon will be swinging as well, hitting to an Eden's Javelin. But given that Zod and the Millenniummon are 13k and 15k DP respectively, it's very high DP for the Eden Javelin to even kill anything. But we do see an Imon actually being hardcore here to actually discard 1, picking up the BO3 once again, and the Upamon will be hatched here, evolving to the Salamon once again, preparing for the next turn I believe. The Zod defeat will actually be trading off the Millenniummon, killing off a Zod in the process, but Millenniummon will actually be returning here due to his own effect. We do see actually evolving to the Omnimon Zord defeat here. No Tamer to destroy by actually going for a tactical retreat, which is a very interesting move, as he does put him the Zord defeat into the security and casting Holy Wave to pass the turn, putting him back to a healthy 4 security already. But the Inmons will be doing damage here, hitting to a Geogreymon from the get-go, so that's very nice as the Inmon does die, milling 3. The Millennium will be swinging for the Zord defeat to be coming out, which he should expect. And that's hardcore another build summon, which I believe should be free at this point of time. Going for a new bone once again, calling the Inmon and the Gankumon promote. Now the promote does have rush, allowing him to actually attack the same turn he's summoned. The Wyvern Breath will kill off the build summon, very unfortunately. And that's actually hardcore the Magna Cubemon, which is another 3 Musketeers, and he does gain a lot of memory there thanks to the Black Door Tamer. Now the Salamon will be doing work again, drawing through Upamon, hitting to the security but not dying though. Charm Sword does hit, killing off the Zord defeat, but the Zord defeat will actually kill off the Millenniumon in exchange. The Geogreymon will be swinging the security, hitting to a Valmon, so it does die, and looks like he'll be casting the black option here to actually nuke off all the bot. And thanks to the Salamon deletion, he does recover 1, putting him back to 2 security once again. It does go for another build summon, passing back 4 memory to the 3 Musketeer player. Actually picking up the Happy Bullet Showering to actually kill off the Red Musketeer, which does have 2 security check, which is quite scary for the security control player. And we do see Gazimon finally in the nursery here, which is actually much needed. And the Labramon as well, which allows him to cycle more into the deck, dropping that black option, and does cast the Bullet to actually kill off that build summon, tasting his own medicine. The Upamon will be hatched here, evolving to another Salamon, which is great for him. And now let's go for the reinforced memory, both looking at top 2, which does have the same cards, putting 1 to the security and 1 to hand. Let's go for another Black Door Tamer there, which will guarantee him 6 memory here if opponent does have 2 or more. And we do hit into Tactical Retreat, allowing to heal 1 again, and finally hitting to a Cordramon, which allows him to actually kill the Gazimon, drawing 2 as well in the same time. Now he's actually going for the pass turn here because he doesn't really want to commit a move, and the Upamon, or rather Salamon, will be moved out here. And then passing turn once again back to the 3 Musketeer player, but we do see an Inmon top deck here, allowing him to discard 1, this Zord actually, to actually go for the Build Summon from the drop zone to the hand, and calling for another Build Summon, which is basically free cost, and we'll be casting Neo Bone most likely to actually gain back the board presence. Going for the Gazimon, as well as a promote, which does have rush as mentioned earlier. The promote will swing at the security for 1 check, hitting to Eden's Javelin, which of course will kill something here. It looks like his hand does have enough to actually kill off the Build Summon, which is very unfortunate, as there will be no further commitments from the 3 Musketeer player. It looks like he does pass the turn, and thanks to the Black Door Tamers, he does gain 6 memory, pushing to actually 9 memory there, which is insane if you ask me. The Cordramon will be swinging the security here, hitting to the 7 bullet, killing off the Salamon, and the Salamon will heal instead, which he does really want that skill to pop off anyway, as he does hardcore Build Summon, most likely going for the black option once again, as we've seen it so much in this video. And the black option will actually nuke off the board clean again, and looks like the 3 Musketeer player is in a pickle. He does actually have another Build Summon in his hand here, going for the Neo Bone, I will presume, allowing him to actually call 2 more Digimons from the drop zone again, which will be the Gazimon and the promote will be swinging the security. Does hit into a reinforced memory boost there, which is useless given that there's Gazimon on the field, but it does actually have Millenniumon to put back that Build Summon to the bottom of the deck. And thanks to that Door Tamer once again pushing into 9 memory, and the Salamon will be pushed out to do his thing, allowing him to draw 1 and killing off the security, and trading off by killing 1 instead. Now let's go for the black option once again to actually kill off their 2 Digimons, which is damn annoying if you ask me. Actually passing the turn, ignoring the Millenniumon because Millenniumon is actually very strong, but looks like the 3 Musketeer has drawn the last card in the deck, and this should be game. He does concede, and we do move on to game 2. Man, that's a long game I would say, and we will move on to game 2 here. He does pass the turn to the 3 Musketeer, so he does start off with the turn with 3 memory here. He does have an Inmon in hand, which is the best card to see in the starting turn for the 3 Musketeers, as he does actually hardcore Deputymon, allowing to pick up the Build Summon and the option to hand, which is a very nice search I would say, as we do see a Geogreymon being hardcore to actually kill the Deputymon, preventing him from actually evolving to any potential Gundramon. And we do see a Cordramon being actually coming out from the security, killing the Imon, choosing to use the Demi-Meramon skill first to draw 1, and then discarding 1, and Imon skill will activate here to actually mute 3. We do see a build summon already on the 3rd turn, I believe, picking up the Trump Sword and casting the black option, giving the security control to eat its own medicine. But we do see a Cordramon being hardcore here to draw more into the deck, which is very nice. This card is just too good. Rip that Zudomon in BTO1. Now the build summon will actually be hitting to a Wyvern Breath here, which is very unfortunate. And we do see a Mechanorimon actually being hardcore here, which will stop the actually the Cordramon from actually swinging the security. And we do see a pass turn being done. And we do see a Valmon being hardcore here. Build summon will actually be appearing on the field. And most likely a black option will be appearing, clearing off the board, killing off all the blockers as well as the Cordramon on both players' field. I do see actually the purple option to kill the build summon and a new bone to actually do things. So definitely we do see the Imon and the Valmon. Salamon will be actually pushed out to cast a Holy Wave straight away, pushing him to 4 security once again. Imon will be swinging at security, hitting to a Black Door Tamer, which will start things rolling for the security control player for sure, and hitting to a Wyvern Breath to actually wrap it up for the Valmon attack. The Mechanorimon will be hardcore here, and the Door Tamer is starting to gain memory for the security control player. Now we do see him actually evolve the Salamon, actually hardcoring the Jogrimon to actually kill the Imon, and passing the turn already without committing the Salamon to the security, given that the Mechanorimon is there to actually kill off or either block off that Digimon. Now we do see a build summon once again thanks to the Imon pickup, and we shall see what kind of option he's going for. Most likely the New Bone here once again, allowing to actually call 2 from the drop zone, flooding the board further with the Valmon and the Imon. The Salamon will be starting to throw the body here to heal 1 for sure. He does go for the Eden Javelin to draw 1. It looks like he does have enough card in the hand to actually kill off that build summon. And he does hardcore his own build summon to actually cast the black option to do a complete board wipe here, leaving the build summon on the field only. Man, that black option is just too good in such a matchup, I would say. And we do see the purple option here again to actually somewhat deja vu, but there's no new bone instead. So we do see the turn being passed to the security control for 3 memory. He does actually go for the Jogrimon for 6 memory there. Ogumon will be hardcore here. Will he be using the skill to actually kill the Jogrimon, which he does. So Jogrimon does die. Turn will be passed back again. Ogumon will be swinging at security, hitting to that Black Dual Tamer once again. And we do see another pass turn. Now this 2 deck doesn't really want to commit too much cards yet, because you never know what your opponent is going to do. So it's very wise to actually pass the turn if you know your opponent is actually not committing their best hand. And we do see finally build summon being committed here for actually just 2 costs. Man, this card is broken. Going for a new bone. And what Digimons we'll be seeing here, the Imon as well as the Valmon. The Ogumon will be swinging at security, hitting to a Cordramon, allowing to actually kill the Ogumon while drawing 2. Passing turn once again, and thanks to that Black Door Tamer, he does gain 4 memory thanks to that. Now we do see another black option here, which is just insanely repetitive. How many times you've seen it in this final alone, which is just too good in these 2 matchups. And we do see the Eden Javelin once again, and pop off that Leo Salamon. Now he does actually hardcore the Magna Kidmon here, which does have 2 security checks. Salamon will push out here to actually hope to actually gain the security, but does hit into a Trump Sword, which doesn't kill the Salamon. And we do see a build Salamon being hardcore here once again. And most likely he'll be doing the Happy Bullet Showering to actually kill off the Magna Kidmon, which is very nice because that 2 security check might be very strong against that security control player. And let's go for the Trump Sword there, and going for the Mag Ishida to allow him to actually pick up a purple Digimon, which I believe will be the Build Summon to hand, because Build Summon being 0 cost potentially is just too strong of a card. And Upamon will be hatched here once again. Doesn't have the Salamon though. Does die, allowing to heal 1, putting him back to 3 security. A Wyvern Breath will actually be casted here to actually kill off that Build Summon, allowing or rather preventing him from evolving to a Zwart, which might further spread the board. He does hardcore another Build Summon, and this guy just have a lot of Build Summon there, and he does actually go for a new bone, allowing to actually pick out Imon, So a slight misplay here, which is caught by the security control player because Neobone doesn't activate the Inmon effect. If it does, it'll be too broken, I would say. It does evolve to the Zord here. Now the difference between a Neobone and a Zord is that Zord allows your Inmon to actually proc the on-place ability, which you will do so here. Discarding that option, picking up Build-Summon to hand, and hard-calling Ogremon just to flood the board. And the Build-Summon will actually be caught here once again to actually deal with the Zord defeat, going for the Trump Sword to actually kill off the Zord defeat, and which will kill off the Zord in return. The turn will actually be passed, but thanks to the Black Door Tamer, 7 memory is guaranteed for the security control player. Now let's go for the memory boost to push into 10 memory, and actually going for the black option once again to kill off that 4 Digimons on the field, which is, man, this card is too good. Let's go for Eden Javelin to actually kill off the Build-Summon, and these games are actually a deja vu, but we do see another Build-Summon here, going for the Neobone once again. Man, 3 Musketeers deck is such a crazy deck, especially against security control, given that security control will eventually run out of gas, or maybe not. Now the promote does go for the swing, hitting to a Build-Summon and does die, and we do see another Inmon, allowing to pick up the Build-Summon back to hand once again, which is truly insane. Going to hardcore the Build-Summon for another Neobone, so that promote comes back and the Inmon comes back. The promote will swing at security once again, hitting to a Black Door Tamer. Man, definitely is in a spot for the security control player, but he does have 9 memory to work with and a Salamon, which is very nice. Salamon will actually be trading off with the Kankubon promo, allowing to actually heal 1 for sure. Now does go for the black option here to actually kill off the board once again. Man, that's crazy. He doesn't actually go for the reinforced memory boost here, which is actually a misplay here, given that he doesn't have any yellow Digimons or Tamers on the field to actually do that, because Salamon has already died. So very unfortunate that no one caught that. And Labramon will be swinging the security, but doesn't matter because this is game ready and moving on to game 3. Now game 3 will start off with the 3 Musketeers actually going first, and going for the Inmon ready, which is the perfect card to see, and does have the Dual Tamer to set things up for this game. And this is a very close best of 3 game, as it's a 1-1 score currently, and both decks can go to the late game very effectively, and we do see a Quadramon being hardcore here to draw 2, allowing to have more cards in the hand to actually do more, or rather think more for the further turn. Now the Inmon will actually be swinging here. He does forget to use the Dual Tamer here, which the security control player is nice enough to actually let him replay, so he's able to draw 1 first, and discarding 1, and now using the Demi-Meramon skill, so she draw 1 and discard 1 further, and then using the Inmon skill to mill 3 to the drop zone. That's hardcore Deputy Mon to further mill, hopefully picking up Build-Summon, and we do see a Build-Summon in the top 4, which is very nice, picking up those 2 to hand. The Quadramon will be swinging the security here, hitting to a Mechanorimon, which does die. He does go for the Eden's Javelin to actually kill the Deputy Mon, preventing any potential Gandramon's effects. Now the Dual Tamer does actually gain memory for the 3 Musketeer player there, because the opponent doesn't have a level 4 below, which is very nice. Now Labramon will be actually be hardcore here to draw 1, then discarding 1, and we do see me actually drawing to a Build-Summon, which is the card to see in this deck for sure, and thus evolve to the Valmon, and then passing a turn, which is interesting. He does draw 1 through the Valmon evolution, and we do see another Eden Javelin to actually cycle more to the deck, killing off that Valmon in exchange, and that Dual Tamer does work his magic, giving more memory to the 3 Musketeer player. Now the Inmon will be swinging at security, and thus remember to use the Dual Tamer here, thanks to that kind prompt by the security control player. Does hit into Wyvern Breath, so the Inmon does die, and let's go for the Demi-Meramon skill. The draw and discard 1, and the Inmon skill will further proc, milling the top 3 of the deck to the drop zone. Now he does go for another Labramon, which is very nice as he does cycle more into the deck and discarding 1, making that Build-Summon potentially a very cheap Digimon as soon as possible, and he does go for the Yamato Tamer to actually pick up a Labramon from the drop zone. Now that's a very interesting play, because for me personally, I will actually save it for the Build-Summon if possible. He does go for the Holy Wave to actually heal 1, putting him back to 4 security. Labramon will be poking at the security, using the Dual Tamer skill here, hitting to a Black Toe Tamer for the security control player side, discarding that Gundramon, and we do finally see the Build-Summon being hardcore here, and actually going for the bullet to actually kill off that Salamon, which does actually intend to die either way, so he does heal 1. And then going for another Labramon to actually draw one, discard one, and thanks to that Black Dual Tamer, he does guarantee 3 memory for that turn. Now the Upamon does actually evolve to Salamon. And then going for the black option, which we have not forgotten, killing off the 2 Labramons, leaving the Buildstarmon behind. Now the Buildstarmon will be swinging at security, hitting to a Salamon, which is perfectly harmless, and he does forget to use the Dual Tamer here once again. But thanks to that security control player kindness, he does allow him to replay. The Emon will be hardcore here to actually pick up the Buildstarmon from the drop zone, I believe. Actually picking up the Magna Kidmon, which is very unfortunate because you do always want to use it for the Buildstarmon. He does pick up the Neobone, casting it, allowing to actually hardcore the Promote and the Labramon. And the Promote is going to be ready to deal some damage, given that he has Rush. Hitting to a Tactical Retreat, so basically nothing happened. And then passing turn, and thanks to the Black Dual Tamer pushing to 5 memory, Salamon will be doing his magic here to actually gain 1 security for the security control player while drawing 1 at the same time. And then going for the black option to do a tactical nuke again, killing out 3 Digimons on the 3 Musketeers side of the field. And thanks to that memory gain and the Dual Tamer, he does guarantee 5 memory for that turn. The Buildstarmon will be poking at the security here, which is very nice, and doesn't decide to actually use the Dual Tamer. And we do see him actually hitting to Eden Javelin, and with the hand size, one of the Buildstarmon is definitely dead. Looks like he does actually hardcore Magna Kidmon, and thanks to that Black Dual Tamer pushing into 9 memory there, which is a lot if you ask me. Going for the reinforced memory boost, looking at top 2, and we do see a Zord defeat and a black option, and a Zord defeat will be most likely going to the security while the black option does go to hand, and we do see another Eden Javelin to actually kill off that Buildstarmon. Now, it's very interesting because the red Digimon does have 2 security check in this case. He does hit to Zord defeat, and he does forget about the 2 security check, hitting to a black option, so the red Digimon actually does quite a lot of damage. But I suppose the security control player is actually respecting the potential Zord in his hand, so he does actually kill off the Buildstarmon instead of the red Digimon, because Zord cannot evolve on the red Digimon. And the promo will actually be poking more into the security, allowing the draw 2 thanks to that Quadramon. It looks like we actually see an Alter S tag in this deck alone, which is very nice as he does kill off that Quadramon. And the turn does pass to the security control player already. You will see a reinforced memory boost being used here to push in the 6. Zord defeat will actually be trading with the Alter S here, which is an interesting trade. He does go for a reinforced memory boost, looking at top 2, which is 2 security Digimons, putting that Geogreymon into the security instead. Now going for the Buildstarmon, which will be casting the tactical nuke once again to actually clear the board, leaving that Buildstarmon left on the field. We do see a Gazimon being evolved here. And the Buildstarmon will be swinging at security, hitting to a Geogreymon which we have seen earlier. And we do see a Neobone being casted here. And will be most likely calling the Promote as well as a Labramon. The Promote will be swinging at the security, pushing to 0 security already. Unfortunately, the last one is the Salamon. And we do finally see an option to actually kill the Buildstarmon again. Man, this deck, or rather this game, has so much options going on. And the reinforced memory boost will push into actually 9 memory here. We actually go for a tactical retreat, putting that Geogreymon to security. And then going for the tactical nuke once again to kill off the 2 Digimons. Another Buildstarmon will be hardcore here. He'll be picking up an option from the drop zone, and most likely casting the Happy Bullet Showering to actually kill off that Buildstarmon, making sure that there's no more Digimons on the field to actually contest the security. But we do have a Gazimon in the nursery which will be threatening the security here, but it does go for the bullet first to actually kill off that Buildstarmon. Then going for the Gazimon swing, hitting to the Geogreymon which we have seen again in the tactical retreat. And hopefully he's going to draw something good, and he does actually draw the Emon, which is very clutch I would say. And that's hardcore the Emon, discarding 1 card, actually the Zord, which is a very interesting play. He does pick up the Buildstarmon once again to hand. We do see another tactical retreat actually being used here to put the Geogreymon. Now Geogreymon is actually being abused so hard. And we do see a Holy Wave being casted here. But the 3 Musketeers does have a Buildstarmon in hand, which is pretty scary if you ask me. He does go for it. Most likely going for the Neobone once again to actually call the Promote to swing at security again. We do see actually hard calling the Emon. The opponent will swing at security, putting him to 0, and thus kill the Imon once again. The turn will actually be passed, and thanks to that Black Door Tamer, he does actually have 7 memory to work with. And we do see another tactical retreat. Man, I must say that sad Joe Greymon, man. He's been put back and forth, and we do see the tactical nuke once again to actually kill off that promote as well as a level 3 rookie. The Build Star will be swinging at security, hitting to a reinforced memory boost there. And then going for a hardcore Millenniumon, which allows him to actually have a body on the field but not having any effects though. And he does actually go for the Wyvern Breath to kill off that Millenniumon, and going for another Wyvern Breath to actually kill off that Buildstarmon. Man, those Wyvern Breath, man, they are very strong. And we do see a Millenniumon being hardcore here, and very unfortunately the security control does discount himself, or rather discount for the Millenniumon hardcore, giving him 3 less memory. But we do see a Happy Bullet showering to actually kill the Millenniumon either way. This game has been going for at least an hour long already, and these players are still at it. And we do see a Gundramon being hardcore here, and another Holy Wave being casted here. The Gundramon will be swinging the security, hitting to a Buildstarmon, which will let the Gundramon to die. And we do see another Buildstarmon from the 3 Musketeers side going for a Neobone. And this might be it for the security control player, given that the Buildstarmon is just too insane. The Juggermon does come in again to actually kill off the Imon. It does go for the black option to actually kill off the bot and hope for the best. The security control doesn't seem to have any solution for the Buildstarmon, and this is game. Now let's take a look at this 3 Musketeer deck list, which actually topped the tournament, and I must say the Buildstarmon and the Neobone is definitely the MVP. So starting off the level 7 first, he does play 2 Millenniumon, 2 Zwart, and 1 Alter S. Now the Millenniumon does very well because Craniumon is a thing now in this meta because options are so scary. So people are actually playing Craniumons, and Millenniumon is the answer for them. And the Zwart is definitely a must play, given that you actually flood the board, and you can actually use the Imon effect, which is actually demonstrated in the game, showing you how you can actually reuse the Buildstarmon over and over again. And then 1 Alter S tag to actually kill off the Rookie Rush, which this deck actually have some sort of struggle against, but he does actually play some Mechanorimons to actually counter them. Now moving on to level 6, which is the 3 Musketeers themselves, we do see 4 Buildstarmon, 3 Gundramon, and 2 Magnakimon. Now people usually don't play the Red Musketeers, but he does actually play it, and he does actually synergize it with the Alter S potential, which is very nice. And moving on to the level 4s, you're actually playing 4 Debutimon, which is a staple, alongside with Inmon, 2 Valmons, 2 Mechanorimons, 1 Ogremon, and 1 Promote. Now these cards does help the deck to actually function and do the best play in a moment of time, which is demonstrated by this guy, and definitely he took the finals with these tag cards. Now moving on to the rookies themselves, total of 8 Inmons, 4 of them being the Mutop 3-1, the 4 one fetching up the 3 Musketeers, 2 Labramons, and 1 Gazimon. Now this ratio definitely worked for this player, so kudos to him. Now moving on to the options, the 7 cost options, 4 of the Bullet, 3 Trump Sword, 2 Neobones, 2 Black options, and 2 Red Spell. Now this is a very good ratio in my opinion, because you do really want to mill them instead anyway, so you don't really want them too much clunking in your hand. And we do play Labramons to actually hardcore them and drawing one, to actually discarding those options that are stuck in your hand, because you don't want to play like a security control player whereby you cast option to pass the turn. Now to wrap it off, we do play the 1 Yamato Tamer and 1 Duo Tamer to fit the different scenarios that the 3 Musketeers can actually excel in. Now we do move on to the security control list, which is actually very interesting because it does incorporate the Buildstarmon and a massive healing package. Now we do start off with the Digitama first, which is the Upamon, which does synergize well with the Salamon because it does give you that draw 1 if you have 3 security or less, and usually when you swing the Salamon with 3 security or less, you do want it to die already, so the heal 1 and a draw 1 doing on the same turn is perfect synergy. Now 4 Salamon without a doubt, 4 Geogreymon, 4 Kodramon, and 4 Sword Defeat. Now these are the 12 security Digimons that this deck does want to achieve because you are healing so much, given that you are playing a total of actually 12 heals in this deck alone. Now he does actually play the Buildstarmon as well to actually play the Black Tactical Nuke and the Red option to actually kill off opponent's board, and Buildstarmon allow you to have a body on the field, allowing the potential Sword Defeat to evolve on it to further control the tempo of the game. And definitely he does play for the Black Door Tamer, which does a lot of work, allowing you to actually hardcast the option from hand, and also allowing you to actually have that much needed memory to actually extend your plays in the same turn. Thank you guys for watching till the end, and do consider subscribing, dropping a like and a comment if you guys enjoy the content.